My name is Renee. Welcome to these videos called A Mother's Wild Heart. It's where I speak about motherhood and mental health. And in this particular video, I'm talking about marriage, which I think is super important when we talk about well-being for our children. A little bit of my background story. I've been married for 8 years. So I've known my husband almost 12 years. We are from different cultures, which I think adds just more spice into the meal. It's fantastic, but it's also like, oh my goodness, what were we thinking? But we've learned so many strategies of how to stick together, and it's nice to rely on our vows, which were that we will never leave each other. And that's what's held us together as well, our commitment together. And I remember feeling really pursued by Tristan in the beginning. And in the beginning of our marriage, it was really dreamy. And then life got busy, and I hate these stories, but they go like this. Every fairy tale has some twist where things are going bad. And yeah, we dragged our marriage along for years, and then we had a beautiful daughter, which enhanced so much in our lives. But still, if we don't work on our marriage, it's forever gonna go downhill. So we really, really have to be intentional. And then in my heart, I was just feeling lonely, like not emotionally connected to my husband. And so I was just thinking it's so important to get him to pursue me. That was my dream. So I always told him how little he's pursuing me and how better he could do things. And he always heard it, but he was like, that's not the most effective way of coaching someone. And look, I know so much about coaching. I have several clients and I'm doing my best there. And I would never tell people to do what I do myself. I just whinge to my husband rather than empower him to do the things I would love him to do. So I whinge and I'm pointing out the lack most of all. I'm telling him this is not working, that's not working. I'm unfulfilled. I would love to live a different life. I want to go to Germany. This is not what I expected. I felt like in the beginning you were leading me into something like a great adventure, and now every day is super, super simple. I mean, our daughter's life is so, so good, and we're so blessed, but this is sometimes how I feel like life is so easy. I don't feel desperate. So when I think of the persecuted church, for example, they are so passionate about life because every day matters and they have so much adventure. And so sometimes I was like, life's too simple around here. I just know, very predictable. I know what's gonna happen. We're just gonna enjoy the beach. We're gonna enjoy friends. She's gonna learn, and we have enough money to buy nice things, but we don't need anything. So through feeling so obese with blessing, I forgot how to be content, and I was this whinging pile of a mess who relied on my husband for my happiness. And he did not want to feed that need, so he withdrew, which made me very lonely for a lot of years. And then I thought loneliness in marriage is worse than loneliness in singleness, because at least you can be online meeting people, you can go to a pub and have a drink with someone, whereas in marriage you just affairs not an option. So I just didn't meet anyone, and I didn't spend any time with men, or although I really, really wanted to connect with somebody, not in a sexual way, just intellectual, just sharing, which I didn't do with my husband for so long, because he was just busy in his own thoughts and his pursuits and business. And I felt that we only connected over our daughter, which is the thing that brought us together, but that's not enough to build a healthy marriage. We need to connect over more things. So only recently have I changed tack just a little bit. So I was whinging for years, always telling him the shortcomings, and he just didn't want to change and didn't want to do anything different. And I thought, I don't want to live like this for the next few years. So I slightly changed tact and started pursuing him, and it was simple things in the beginning. Like, I've always cooked a meal, but sometimes with not so much passion. Sometimes I'm just like, I'm always thinking of the nutritional value, but not always about flavor. I was like, here's your protein, here's your greens, chuck things in a plate. Whereas lately I've been putting in more effort, and Tristan's noticed. I'm hanging up his shirts, whereas I usually leave them on the line for him to pick up. So little things like that. I just want to take care of him more. I'm cutting his hair more often. Like in the past, it was more like a chore, but now I'm like, hey, I would love you, to have a haircut. I'm happy to do for you. So just slowly becoming intentional about investing into him. And then there's also the story about, the marriage bed. So I hope I'm not going into too much detail. I won't, but there's not so much to share actually. This is the point. There's not much to share. So we are not very often physically with each other. We are so tired in the evenings, so busy in the mornings. We just don't prioritize it. It's not on our minds, and sometimes we completely forget. It's not like we don't choose to. It's just not on our minds. Whereas when you're young and in love and have, hard feelings for each other, you can't take your clothes off each other fast enough. Whereas now it's just like, good night, sleep well. So having a restful sleep is way more important than the passion. And I just thought, something needs to change. But I felt really, really embarrassed to make the first move. Like, I never want to be a woman who like asks her husband to make love. So I hinted, but then he didn't respond. So I was like, fine then. But then we went on for another few months, not being intimate with each other. And I love that word, intimacy. There's so much in that we don't understand. We think it's a physical transaction, but I believe it's completely spiritual. And that's why I think it comes with so much weight, and we need to be so, intentional about it. Anyway, I started giving my husband lots of compliments about his physique, that he looks fit, even though I want him to, exercise a lot more. Instead of telling him, you don't exercise enough, look at your body changing. I think it's really important to encourage him, be like, hey, you have a great shape. I think that just really boosted his confidence. And so I encourage you, if you're not being fulfilled by your husband's emotional input, find it within yourself and in your faith. God never fails, but our husbands do, so don't be alarmed. I was quite alarmed. I was like, he shouldn't fail me. He's supposed to do all these things for me, but it's okay. Husbands do fail. But it's actually really rewarding to invest into your husband. He has become more attentive. He texts me throughout the day. He wants to wake up a little bit earlier to see the sunrise with me. We sometimes, he often asks me how he can help me. Whereas in our resentful state, he was more like, can you please do this yourself, because I don't want to show you over and over and over. He refused to help for a little while because we had so much resentment towards each other. But now he wants to offer his strength. He's like, how can I bless you? I have all these skills. How can I help you? So my encouragement to you, so we have this also. We have 3 options in our marriage. One is to leave it, like to leave the marriage and move on with a different person. Sometimes easier, sometimes enticing, but is that really where we will get the growth that we want in our life? Option 1, for us it wasn't an option, but we made it like we just to explain to ourselves what can happen. Second was nothing changes, it stays the same. I'm wondering if Tristan would have been okay with that. I was not. I said I want more out of life. I want a fulfilled marriage. I want life to the full, so I'm going to do something about that. Then the third option is we both change. And this is so funny. We have gone through seasons of, I want to choose option 3, but you have to change first. So he said that to me and I said that to him, and no one changed. It's only working, and it's only a successful option if both people agree to change, which is slowly shifting. So it's only taken us 8 years. Oh my goodness. And this is it. In theory, we know it all, but practically we have to do some warfare against it. We have to stand up. We have to fight. Nothing good comes easy without a fight. We have to push in, lean in, and say we want this, and this is difficult, and I've been knocked back, and I'll try again. And I think through the consistency of trying, we're slowly seeing some victory. So I hope this encourages you out there. I'm probably going to do more videos because I'm learning so much at the moment. Hope this blesses you. Love you. Bye.